It was 6:48 a.m. when Eleanor Brooks, a 74-year-old widow, heard the first thud on her door. Not a polite knock, but a violent bang, like a fist slamming wood with malice. She flinched, her teacup rattling, hot chamomile spilling onto her robe. Another bang, louder, meaner, followed by a sharp, male voice devoid of warmth. "Open the door, ma'am!" "HOA!" Eleanor froze in her recliner, a knitted shawl slipping from her shoulders. Her heart, already fragile from years of arrhythmia, began to race. She whispered, "Why?" to no one, her hands trembling as the pounding continued. Eleanor, a retired nurse and widow of a Marine, lived alone in the quiet Maple Grove estates. She wasn't expecting visitors, deliveries, or trouble. Yet through her window, she glimpsed shadows, 3, maybe more. "You violate HOA Code 14B. Unauthorized window treatments," a woman's voice screeched. Eleanor staggered back, clutching the couch for balance. Her pulse thundered in her ears as the assault on her door intensified, fists, palms, even something metal. "Comply now, or this is your final warning." The words weren't just a notice, they felt like a threat, heavy with menace. Her chest tightened, pain spreading like a vice. She sank to her knees, gasping. "Daniel!" Her son's name, though her phone was out of reach. Outside, the voices mocked. "She's hiding!" "Look at those curtains, beige, not even approved ivory." Laughter followed, cruel and careless. Eleanor's world blurred, sound fading to a roar like rushing water. Across the street, 82-year-old neighbor Mrs. Larson saw her collapse through the window. She dialed 911, then called Daniel, a paramedic who lived 20 minutes away. By the time Daniel's truck screeched onto the lawn, the HOA mob, 6 of them in matching windbreakers, clutching clipboards, still hadn't stopped. "Hey!" he roared, storming toward them. Silence fell. A short woman, Pamela Reed, the HOA president, stepped forward, her smile smug. "This is a private HOA matter, sir." Daniel ignored her, rushing inside to find his mother crumpled on the floor, oxygen mask trembling in her hands, lips tinged blue. "I tried to open the door, honey," she whispered. "I couldn't breathe." He scooped her up, heartbroken as paramedics arrived, her second hospital trip that month. In the rearview mirror, he saw the HOA group lingering on her lawn, smirking, unapologetic. They weren't done. But neither was he. Daniel wasn't just a paramedic. He was a man forged in chaos, saving lives in wrecks and fires. Yet he hadn't saved his mother from this. The truth hit hard, this wasn't an accident. It was deliberate. A neighbor, old Mr. Carter, confirmed it. 2 weeks ago, they asked if she lived alone, if you visited often. They took notes. Daniel's blood ran cold. They targeted her, knowing her heart condition was documented in HOA records from a maintenance waiver. They knew she was vulnerable. In her mailbox, he found a stack of notices, damp and curled. One stood out, a $1,200 fine for unauthorized curtains, cream, not eggshell. The absurdity was infuriating, but the intent was clear, intimidation. Daniel marched to the HOA office, a converted garage reeking of bureaucracy. Pamela Reed sat behind a desk, her blonde hair stiff, her scarf a symbol of authority. "Mr. Brooks," she said, smiling like a predator. "Hear about your mother's citations? You knew she had a heart condition. You sent a mob to her door at dawn." Daniel's voice was steel. Pamela didn't blink. "We follow the charter. Appearance affects property values. Rules are rules." He leaned in, voice low. "You hospitalized a 74-year-old woman over curtains. That's not rules, that's cruelty." Her smile flickered, then hardened. "Non-compliance means property access, even relocation if needed. Eviction." The threat hung like a blade. Daniel left, but the fight was just beginning. Unbeknownst to the HOA, Eleanor's porch hid a security camera, installed after a mailbox theft. Daniel pulled up the footage that night, eyes burning. At 6:45 a.m., 9 figures appeared, clipboards, lanyards, smug faces. They pounded on her door, shouted threats, and laughed. One, a man in sunglasses, shook the doorknob. Another filmed the house, circling like a vulture. The audio was damning. "You're hurting your neighbor's property values." 17 minutes of terror, captured in high definition. Daniel saved the file, sent it to his lawyer, a news station, and a police captain friend. His message was blunt. "My mother was hospitalized after 9 HOA members harassed her. She's 74, with a heart condition. Watch this in act." By midnight, the video, posted online with hashtag Justice for Eleanor, had 600,000 views. By dawn, 1 million. Reporters knocked, not the HOA this time. The storm had begun. When Eleanor returned home, frail but defiant, she found her porch railing gone, sawed off for being non-approved. Blood trickled from her palm as she grabbed a jagged stub. Pamela stood across the street, clipboard in hand, unmoved. "It's a safety matter," she said. Eleanor wept, not loudly, but with a bone-deep exhaustion. Daniel's resolve hardened. This was war. The video's virality forced action. At noon, sheriff's vehicles rolled into Maple Grove. The sheriff, voice steady, announced arrest warrants for the HOA board, harassment, coercion, reckless endangerment. Pamela's face paled as cuffs clicked on her wrists. One board member fled across a lawn, tackled by deputies. Another shouted, "She's just old." "This is fake." The sheriff's glare silenced him. Neighbors watched, some whispering, others filming. Eleanor, from her window, saw justice unfold. Residents began confessing. One left a note. "I knew they targeted her. I was scared they'd find me next." A couple admitted that Pamela threatened their garage exemption unless they signed a complaint against Eleanor. Over a dozen came forward, exposing a pattern: fines as weapons, silence bought with fear. The DA launched a criminal investigation, calling it a conspiracy of abuse. The narrative shifted. This wasn't about curtains, it was about power. The trial was a spectacle. The courtroom overflowed with neighbors, advocates, and strangers moved by Eleanor's story. 3 board members faced charges: harassment, threats, and property interference. The video played, frame by frame, their laughter echoing. Pamela, caught fleeing with a fake passport, was absent, her empty chair a symbol of guilt. The DA's voice cut through. "This was about breaking the vulnerable. We cannot allow it." Eleanor's lawyer read her statement. "I don't want revenge. I want no elderly woman to wake to strangers screaming at her door." The room stood, the judge wept, and the guilty verdicts landed like thunder. Today, Eleanor's porch boasts a new railing, a plaque declaring, "This home belongs to a woman unbroken." The HOA is dissolved, its funds donated to elder abuse prevention. Pamela serves 6 years, others are behind bars. Eleanor sips tea outside, neighbors now waving, bringing soup, rebuilding the community. Daniel, now an elder rights advocate, speaks nationwide, warning of abuse hiding behind rules. This story sparked laws, exposed tyrants, and gave voice to the silenced. But it raises questions. Was the HOA's obsession with control justified? Did Eleanor's curtains threaten the neighborhood, or was this pure malice? Could this happen in your community? Share your thoughts in the comments. Should HOAs have such power? Have you faced similar bullying? Let's debate. Your voice matters, and it could keep this story trending. Subscribe for more tales of justice, and let's make sure no one else wakes to terror at their door.